So the simple behavior that I do believe everybody should adopt, including many blind people, is to view ideally sunlight for 2 to 10 minutes every morning upon waking. So when you get up in the morning, you really want to get bright light into your eyes because it does two things. First of all, it triggers the timed release of cortisol, a healthy level of cortisol, into your system, which acts as a wake-up signal and will promote wakefulness and the ability to focus throughout the day. It also starts a timer for the onset of melatonin, this sleepiness hormone, or the hormone of darkness, as they say. Melatonin is inhibited by light. So by viewing light first thing in the day, you set in motion these two timers, one for wakefulness that starts immediately and one for sleepiness that starts later.
This is not some woo biology thing. This is grounded in the core of our physiology. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of quality peer-reviewed papers showing that light viewing early in the day is the most powerful stimulus for wakefulness throughout the day, and it has a powerful positive impact on your ability to fall and stay asleep at night. So this is really the foundational power tool for ensuring a great night's sleep and for feeling more awake during the day. You will also want to leverage not just light, but temperature as a tool. Get under some cold water. That will certainly wake you up. And if you've ever jumped into cold water or had a cold shower, you know it really wakes you up because you release adrenaline, epinephrine from both your brain and body. 1 to 3 minutes of cold water exposure will wake you up because of that adrenaline release, and I want to highlight the and, it will serve to increase your core body temperature. That's right. Your body and brain interact as a bit of a thermostat system where if you put something cold on the surface of your body, your brain, a little cluster of neurons in the so-called medial preoptic area, act as a thermostat and say, the external of my body is cold and therefore I'm going to heat up my core body temperature. So we've got sunlight, we've got temperature triggered by cold water, and we have exercise. One of the best ways to increase your core body temperature early in the day is to do exercise. Here's what I suggest. Try and get some movement. It could be a walk so you can get your sunlight exposure while you're taking a walk first thing in the morning. It could be a light jog. It could be skipping rope. Caffeine is something that a lot of people consume early in the day. How much depends on your tolerance, and there's a lot of individual variability here. Again, caffeine is a adenosine antagonist, or effectively works as a adenosine antagonist and limits sleepiness. I highly recommend that everybody delay their caffeine intake for 90 to 120 minutes after waking. You want, and I encourage you to clear out whatever residual adenosine is circulating in your system in that first 90 to 120 minutes of the day. Get that sunlight exposure, get some movement to wake up, and then, and only then, start to ingest caffeine. Because what you'll do if you delay caffeine intake is you will avoid this so-called afternoon crash. And you may still get a little bit of dip in energy in the afternoon, but it's not going to be that massive crash. Now, the other lever or tool that you have available to you is food, not just what you eat, but when you eat. And it turns out that if you eat early in the day, you support a biological clock mechanism that will make you more alert early in the day. That said, many people choose to fast in the early morning hours of the day or in the first part of the day. I'm one such person. I generally don't ingest any food until about 11 a.m. or 12 noon. However, some people are really hungry when they wake up in the morning. Just know that if you eat early in the day, you are further triggering an increase in metabolism and in temperature that will make you more alert. So you don't have to eat early in the day, but you can start to see how these different tools layer together. Sunlight viewing, exercise, cold water, eating. Many of them are converging on the same mechanisms. In fact, when you drink caffeine, there's also a small increase in body temperature due to the adrenaline increase that it stimulates. So all of these things can be layered on top of one another, or you can use them individually or think about them individually. I promise that if you start to implement some, or ideally all of these tools, the quality of your sleep will increase tremendously. And of course, in doing so, the quality of your daytime alertness and your ability to focus will improve tremendously. Again, sleep is the absolute foundation of your mental health, your physical health, and your performance in all endeavors. So if there's one area of your life to really focus on and try and optimize, if your goal is to be happier and more productive and just have a better life overall, I can confidently say that sleep is really the thing to optimize.